Pope Francis, he's a new kind of pope. Pope's in the air, man. A lot of people are feeling hopeful because of his comments about gay human beings. Turns out, yeah, maybe I can live with them. Huh, interesting. When he was asked about it, he said, "Who am I to judge a gay person of goodwill who seeks the Lord?" Well, you're the Pope. If anybody's going to judge him, it's usually the Pope. In fact, the previous Pope said that anyone who he deemed had a deep-seated homosexuality, I don't know what that's a reference to, would be barred from the Vatican. So yeah, if anybody's going to judge, it would normally be the Pope, but he's not judging. So great. And he says, you can't marginalize these people. Now look, there's a little bit of conflicting interest here too, because there's been very credible reporting in the Italian press about gay trysts that a lot of members of the Vatican were involved in. So he's got to make sure that if those people are literally outed, that he could then turn around and go say, hey, look, man, I told you I'm not one to judge, so I'm going to go ahead and keep 40% of the Vatican that turns out were involved in gay trysts. 40% is a number I made up. Seems like a reasonable estimate given what we found out in the past about the Catholic Church. Anyway, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. He seems like a much more open guy. He cares about the poor. He says the young should protest. He's concerned about wealth inequality. Terrific. In fact, an expert on him, Father James Martin, S.J., says, one of Francis' hallmarks is an emphasis on mercy, which you see in that response. That mercy, of course, comes from Jesus, and we can never have too much of it. Well, that's true. So it's a move in the positive direction, and always welcome when we're looking at the Vatican. Now, you have to keep in mind, of course, that there are a lot of people who disagree with this, and as one tweeter pointed out to me earlier today, I could just see the Catholic League now complaining about what the Pope said. Can you believe this liberal Pope saying we shouldn't hate the gays? That would be awesome, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility. Now, one of the things, of course, the people who are against homosexuality and giving it any mercy whatsoever are the people who usually quote 1 Corinthians 6, 9, 10. But let's read the whole quote. Now, we've talked about Leviticus many times in the show. It says, you shall not lie with a man as you do with a woman, but it also says you shouldn't touch pigskin, wear clothing of 2 different cloths, eat shellfish. We've been through all that. But Corinthians, quote, "Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God." Because only 4 people will be in the kingdom of God. Oh, that was not in there, but it's pretty clear from what is in there. Isn't it amazing with that enormous laundry list that the one that they focus on is homosexuality? Yes, homosexuality is in there. So is the greedy. Well, there goes the entire Republican Party. The swindlers? There goes all the banks. They've literally been paying billions of dollars in fines for swindling people. Why is there never all this talk in the right-wing media about, those swindlers are going to hell, and we should exclude them from the Boy Scouts and just about everything else, certainly the Vatican and everything else you can imagine. People who are covetous, people who are drunkards, coveting? Are you kidding me? There goes 99% of the country. Why do we never talk about them or the adulterers? And the reality is because that's all of us. Instead, what other people have to do is find one outsider and blame all their problems on them. Now, the fact that Pope Francis is beginning to get away from that phenomenon is terrific. And understand that this doesn't apply to all religious people, the right-wing demagoguery that we see here in the United States. For example, one of the most famous reverends in the world is Desmond Tutu. And here's what he said recently. He said, "I would not worship a God who is homophobic. And that is how deeply I feel about this. I would refuse to go to a homophobic heaven. No, I would say sorry. I would much rather go to the other place." Isn't that amazing? And some of the greatest and most moral leaders in the history of the world have been Christians like Martin Luther King Jr. So there is hope/Pope out there. All right, enough on that. But there really is hope out there for people who are more progressive. And by the way, in America, even among evangelicals, there's a movement and that is very large where evangelicals and Christians and fundamentalist Christians are becoming more and more progressive. So don't judge the rest of Christianity based on our right-wing idiots, who I'm telling you could any day come out and condemn the Pope because he doesn't understand Christianity. Wait for it.